Computer, begin program.
For nearly a century, tensions with the Klingon Empire have run high.
The enemy we faced was unlike anything the Empire had seen before. There was no sense of honor. Nothing we could understand. Our greatest warriors strived to keep them at bay, but to no avail.
Starfleet intelligence knew that the situation the Klingons found themselves in would not last long. We had to ally ourselves with whoever was bringing the Klingons to their knees. None of our informants in the Empire would dare mention a name for risk of dishonoring their house.
Once we learned that the Federation would use this enemy against us, we made sure that they would find it difficult to contact the filth that had stirred our bloodlust.
Little by little, we gathered intel that we hoped would reveal who it was the Klingons were so afraid of.
Afraid? Klingons? Ha! We are warriors, born to battle. We fear nothing.
As hard as we tried, all we could find was the name and location of the homeworld, Iota Gemorium 4, in the heart of the Klingon Empire.
This is the ally the Federation would use to turn a century of hostilities towards their favor. We could not allow them to gain the advantage so easily.
All we knew was that it was a planet the Klingons used for trade. We explored several ways of getting our contacts there, to gain the trust of our would-be allies.
Our foe was numerous and relentless. It seemed that not even Kalas himself, who'd once stood before 500 warriors, with none but his Parmakai Lukara at his side, and again single-handedly fought off an entire army at the three-turn bridge, could prevail in this task.
Starfleet intelligence had a ship that could avoid detection from the Klingons, an Odysseus-class starship, but it was still too far off from being completed. We needed something there, now.
As most of our warships were otherwise engaged in purge of this small, furry nemesis, we made sure to keep a vigilant watch over the Federation, augmenting our border patrols with merchant vessels, civilian cruisers, and transport carriers.
Even though we knew the Klingons were watching us, we had no choice. We had to make our move before the Klingons made theirs. One false step could mean another war with the Empire, but if there was one ship that could stop this war and complete its mission, it was the Valiant.
We couldn't let the Federation make contact with those G'night pests. Rather than allow the Empire to fall into chaos because of an infestation of Yichme, my fleet was dispatched to eradicate them from their home world. We called it the Planet of the Damned.
When we arrived at the planet, Tribble Prime as it's called now, we realized that we had made a grave mistake.
Starfleet has a way of appearing when one least expects it.
The Klingons had waited for us to make a move before they enacted their plan.
We had the vermin and the Federations in our grasp.
We barely escaped with our lives. There was no going back to save them.
Those Patak came to our doorstep to rescue an ecological menace. We had to destroy it before the Klingon Empire itself was overrun. It is fitting that Starfleet was there to witness the annihilation.
It was a massacre, but we were fortunate. Not all the Tribbles were killed. We beamed one up before the Klingons were able to get to it.
It was glorious. Honor was restored to all Klingons on that day.
For some reason, the Tribble we saved died. It must have known that its kind had been wiped out and lost the will to go on.
Warriors were dispatched throughout the galaxy to hunt down and kill every last remaining Tribble scum. And we were victorious.
In a sick twist of fate, the Tribbles' extinction was a turning point between the Federation and the Empire. It brought both sides to the table to not only talk about their differences, but what they shared in common.
We learned that perhaps the Federations and Klingons could work together as allies. The Tribble. He is blue. He is such a meaningless existence. He eats, he breeds, and someday he dies. Let us hope that we can find more meaning in life than he has.